My name is Christian Blackwell, and I am the president of the board at the Dallas Goethe Center. I am thrilled to be here today and to be able to welcome all of you for today's lecture, co-hosted by three of our illustrious European organizations in the DFW Metroplex. Today's lecture is Dario Grosseto, who's going to be speaking about early cancer detection. So if you're here for another lecture, stick around for this one because it's probably more interesting. And also I'd like to just say a couple of words about the Goethe Center. We have a few thank yous, and I'll introduce the presidents, or actually representatives of our co-hosting organizations, and then we'll turn it over to Dario to give our lecture. The Dallas Goethe Center is the Center for German Language and Culture in North Texas. We have a German school with 2 campuses that teaches children and adults German. We also put on a fairly full calendar of a variety of events related to the German language and German culture. So we represent not only Germany, but all of German-speaking Europe, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein. The fundamental reason, and we're all here because of interesting topics and because we believe or are interested in these cultures and languages, but really underneath it all, the importance of these organizations is in fostering peace and understanding internationally. And they're important organizations, so if you're not supporting whichever one of these, then you need to be. These are important things in our community. The thank you list. Lots of people to thank. First off, Jenny Colburn. Jenny, you're filming, so I won't ask you to stand up, but Jenny was the person who coordinated today's event and brought in the various organizations. Together with Carl Seabart and Derek Morris, our program committee co-chairs. Carl, will you raise your hand? And Derek, would you raise your hand? Perfect. Also from the Goethe Center, Ulrika Hollingsworth is the chair of our hospitality committee. She's in the back somewhere working. Oh, there she is. Thank you very much, Ulrika, and others who volunteered to bring refreshments from our side. Lots of refreshments brought from the others, so thank you to them as well. The hosts providing this beautiful venue today, and I have not met them, so if you're here, I apologize. But that's Matt and Paige Dada. Are you there? Thank you very much. And actually, if we could just give them a little. So we appreciate your hospitality very much. Also, of course, to our speaker, and we will hear from him in a moment. So that's it. I'd like to turn it over, if I may, to Michelle Choate, the Vice President of the Alliance Francaise, and then after her to Michael Travali, the President of the Italian Club of Dallas. So, Michelle.
Thank you. So I'm with the Alliance Francaise, and we are located just off of 75 at Royal. That's where our classes are taught, and then we also have events like this for our members. So our charter is to provide education for French language, as well as events, cultural events. So the language and culture of France is our focus. So, and I want to add my thanks to Ann Nickel for helping me with the advertisements that we brought, and the Goethe Center and the Italian Club for allowing us to participate in this. So, welcome you all. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Michelle.
Buongiorno, I'm Michael Travali. I'm the president of the Italian Club of Dallas, and I just want to say we're glad to be here. We're a little bit newer, I guess. We were formed in 1977 here in Dallas. Our facilities are located in Addison, just off of Inwood Road. We took over a facility about 4 years ago, so we operate as a full restaurant. We're open for lunch every day. We do evening meals, all traditional Italian. We have an Italian chef. But really what we do is we use the restaurant to fund our cultural side. We offer language classes. We have an school that's been designed that begins in September. We do a lot of wine tastings. We do dinners. We celebrate all of the Italian holidays. We just celebrated Ferragosto, which is the middle of the month off for the Italians. And again, I just want to say thank you. We're glad to be here. This is a very personal subject to me. When Dario reached out to me, I am a 20-year survivor. And I also have somebody very close to me. Unfortunately, I have somebody very close to me right now was diagnosed about 6 weeks ago, and we're not sure she's going to make it through Christmas. So early detection really would have been something that would have been great for her. So I'm very interested to be here and support, and thank you for having us. Thank you to everybody.
The presentation and slides of the seminar, Challenges in Early Cancer Detection, a comparative analysis of trends from Europe and the United States, are available at the website www.unitedendcancer.org/doc/60.pdf. This comparative analysis addresses products by large industries in Europe and in the United States, as well as new technological trends, including those from the world's major research laboratories, that have been compared through meetings with CERN Scientific Director, Atlas Experiment Deputy Spokesman, leaders at BNL, and through email exchanges with Fermilab, as documented in www.unitedendcancer.org/doc/8.pdf. in a public, transparent, open competition of the International Leonardo da Vinci Prize, www.leonardodavinciprize.com, sponsored and supported by prestigious universities, hospitals, public administrations, see logo on image, and philanthropists. The rules of the competition were finalized after months of input and comments at the international level, followed by several press releases to 6,000 outlets and emails to tens of thousands of scientists. Each submitted entry, which included major research laboratories such as CERN, BNL, and Fermilab, was subjected to 5 hours of public debate and rigorous scientific scrutiny. Minutes are available at www.unitedendcancer.org/doc/50.pdf. Crossetto's 3D CBS project was declared the winner based on the results of an agreed-upon formula for efficiency that eliminates any possible favoritism, which no one could refute, thus demonstrating the superiority of his project in saving lives and reducing costs. For additional information, contact request@unitedtoendcancer.org.
So it's really a serious calamity affecting over 40% of the world population during lifetime. And we know by the World Health Organization that the 7 million premature cancer deaths that we have now is going to double if we don't do anything in 20 years. If we know the solution, we know that early detection works, then the problem should be solved. Let's just focus on that, work on that, and as mankind has solved other problems like the influenza, like the polio, the pneumonia, and all this, it's going to solve also this. Instead, it's there and it's increasing the money and it's not solved. So I just received as a gift this National Geographic that is 1946, 65 years ago. So at some page here, and I made a scan, I presented to you, I was so surprised to read this page about cancer. And this is what the page says. Okay, so 65 years ago, they were saying the same thing that have been told now, day after day, and with all this alarm, all these things, it says, hey, the news is good, the death rate is going down. Among women, the rate is being reduced for all types of cancers. But But later, they also say that are aware. It says, it is estimated that 30 to 50% of the death from cancer today might have been prevented by early recognition and prompt treatment. So, at this point, the reflection is, how many more years are we going to repeat this and not addressing the problem like we addressed a problem like engineer in building a house, in building a bridge or any other thing? We should address the technical problem. These cells are cancerous cells different from this, and they grow. In order to grow, they need some nutrient. A nutrient is a molecule that for the head, it can be oxygen, ammonia, rubidium, carbon, but the most common one is sugar, glucose. Typically, you combine this radioisotope with the molecule of the sugar, you inject, this goes through the body. The cancer cells that are hungry, they require more nutrient. They try to concentrate the glucose, but with the glucose you have this radioisotope that is emitting signal. You try to capture as many as possible, but now it's capturing 1 out of 10,000. The thing that I came up is 1 out of 25, that is 400 times more. This is the revolution, the thing that needs to change, that is from this picture that the doctor have now on the screen. You should think that now they have also combined the CT. The CT is just the profile of the organ. It gives the anatomy, okay? And they can put also some color. But we should go to this one where the machine is so sensitive that is giving you 2 measurements. The measurement of the consumption of that organ that is normal versus the one that is measured that is abnormal. And raise a flag whenever there is something abnormal, but the minimum abnormal metabolism is going to get it. The bottom line is that we have some problem to solve, and one is wonder, say, why nobody made this calculation of how much will it cost the entire device, and what will be the efficiency, and why did not compare the efficiency of Fermilab with CERN, with Brookhaven, with Crosetto, with the others, and see which one scored the best. And before the data, if the data are on paper, now anybody can make a remark saying, oh, this calculation is not correct, let's go back. But hey, there is not much. If the number of elements, they made the publication and they declared that how much it cost, you just made the multiplication and addition, and that's it. So before this irrefutable result, how can anyone justify funding less efficient, more costly projects and that are not useful in reducing premature cancer death? We go back to the slides when I show you Siemens and GE, and the explanation is there. The one who has a marketing power wins. In order to design a ship, a bridge, an airplane, several approaches are compared, calculation and drawings are analyzed and verified, and best projects are funded. Why cannot we do the same in regard to medical imaging device that could have already reduced substantially cancer death? For example, for cancer patients, is it more useful to have a PET which measures spatial resolution as claimed by Fermilab, CERN, and so on, or one which measures efficiency as the one that I am claiming? Do we want to continue feeding the cancer business, obtaining meager results and driving the cost to the roof? Or do we start working seriously on accountability? And at that point, we should be starting from the scientists, asking them to honestly verify calculation and justify with scientific argument why one project has a higher potential with respect to another to reduce cancer death and cost. No more advertisement has been going on for 65 years that are not based on solid scientific argument and have a realistic plan to reduce premature cancer death. No more false alarm claiming a cure for cancer has been found. And just Remember this, 65 years ago, all what they said, and all New York Times, National Cancer Institute, Lance Armstrong, American Cancer Society, Fortune magazine. This is the last one that really shows that we are throwing money out of the window. So this is a list of famous people who suffered or died of cancer. Ingrid Bergman, Humphrey Bogart, John Ford, and you will see all this when you will look at the slides. People very powerful on the entertainment, sport, literature, politics, religion, science, business. Gianni Agnelli, his son, 33 years old, he died of cancer, you know that. And so you think that all these people with all that money and power, if really we have a cure for cancer, if we can master this, they wouldn't have spent all their power, their money to stay a little alive long, at least at 76 and at 80 years old for a woman. Don't you think that if the advertisement that we heard here on TV and media for the past 65 years, that it looks good. Now we have the cure for cancer. Even now you get on television, come to our hospital because we have the cure for cancer. Where through the power and money of these people we have bought a few more years of life. So let's request those who ask you money for cancer, what are you giving me in return in terms of a reduction of cancer death and cost? Where is your project or plan in the web that I can show to the expert that I know? How does your project compare with other projects? So this is the way you can be an actor, you can participate, you can do something. Because it's your money. If you make a donation, at least you ask, hey, give me the website where your project is, and when are you going to make the test on 10,000 population that you show me that is reducing cancer death, because you have something, a plan. Instead, no. People just ask for money, and the money goes 37 billion in 120,000 cancer research project, and no accountability. So this is the way I think that everyone can participate in spreading the word, communicating to others about this seminar, and letting them know that I'm available to give other seminar. And if all together we try to ask for a return from our investment, then hopefully that will be changing whatever is happening that money is driving. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask of Dario while he's here? Yeah?
Yes?
The new research in Johns Hopkins shows that the cancer cells usually in our body are every day, they are with us in several million.
Yeah.
But when the number comes to several billion, is a time that physician can detect how your machine can detect on under several billion, like when it's doing this, like several billion.
Just
I'm a scientist.
okay. So just figure out that the current machine is taking one signal out of 10,000. Okay. So I told you that a cancer cell is not behaving the same way for the same person on the same part of the body. So I gave you a range. It goes from 5 to 70 times the consumption of a normal cell. So you have this data, 5 to 70 times, and the current machine is detecting one signal out of 10,000. Mine is detecting 1 out of 25. So whatever is the stage of your cancer has a better chance to be detected with mine than with the other. So I'm not answering an absolute figure because we are all different. But for sure you have a better chance. And if your is an aggressive cancer, then it's easier to detect. And it's also that good for Margaret who asked me the question, a dormant cancer that is not active, then hey, it's not
The metabolic rate
Yes,
is
it's low and it's not showing something. And I talked to some oncologists. They said, oh, some people live 30 years with a prostate cancer that is dormant. And it's better to make an informed choice rather than go in the dark and not knowing and waiting for the worst when you cannot have a return and go back. Okay. Thank you.
That was an extraordinary event, and I hope we'll all take it away with us. Some of us are on the investment side, some of us are on the medical side. It seems to me that this could be a catalytic event whereby we could get people's attention. There also are public agencies. I happen to have a good friend who's a member of Congress who is an MD and who is on the Government Oversight Committee that looks into why health care has gone through the roof. And this is one part of the puzzle, only one part of the puzzle. But it is certainly, I will bring it to his attention muy pronto, and we'll see if we can get something going. But I think it's one of the most interesting and extraordinary events that the Goethe Center, and we're delighted to be joined with the Alliance Française and the Italian Club. Really unusual, first time we've ever done a tripartite thing as far as I know, and I think it's well worth the price of admission. Behind you, Alliance Française has laid out a beautiful board of cheese and nibbles, and the Italian Club has laid out the most magnificent delicacies, desserts and things, cannelloni, that you can imagine. And over on the side we have beer and wine, and so a good time will be had by all. Enjoy, and thanks for coming.
Listen to what people are saying about Dario Crosetto's seminar.
Firstly, let me thank you for a most enjoyable and engaging lecture last Sunday. The information that you presented to us was very enlightening and reveals statistics that serve a valuable purpose in bringing to light the very serious consequences of possible misdirected cancer research funding. I feel that it is critical, if there is to be an improvement and reduction in cancer death statistics, that you share your findings with as many people as possible, and personally urge anyone interested to attend your lecture.
Members of the Goethe Center, along with friends and colleagues from co-sponsors Alliance Française and the Italian Club of Dallas, heard a challenging and stimulating lecture by Dario Crosetto on developments in early cancer detection. Perhaps his most important point was a simple one: the vast misuse of resources, literally billions of dollars, on cancer treatment looking for the magic cure. There is none, when small amounts devoted to early detection would have dramatic impact on life expectancy, treatment cost, loss of productivity, and quality of life. Most cancers, if detected early, can be treated at low cost and arrested. It is worth noting that Crosetto won the prestigious Leonardo da Vinci Prize in June for his superior detection techniques against fierce competition from major international corporations and institutions. He described in detail the way his technology can quickly and at low cost detect the critical markers, nutrient absorption, associated with any type of cancer.
I had the distinct pleasure of attending your presentation and lecture last Sunday. Cancer has very much affected our family and friends, and many dear ones have been lost to this disease. My husband was in remission for almost 10 years and religiously had the scans to check on recurrence. Obviously, with the appearance of the tumor on his neck, the scans were ineffective in early detection. The information that you presented was enlightening and showed that we must reevaluate these testing procedures and equipment so that early detection can save lives. I applaud you for your research and hope that your development can soon become a reality. Thank you again for the invitation and enlightenment.
Crosetto presented an informative lecture that exposed the soft underbelly of the so-called war on cancer. He persuasively argued that U.S. and European cancer programs are throwing billions of dollars away on approaches that have barely made a dent on the cancer death rate after 6 decades of concerted effort. Particularly fascinating is his novel approach to detecting cancer, based on years of research, an approach that could revolutionize cancer detection and treatment.
This slideshow presentation is a real eye-opener explaining why the death rate from cancer is not decreasing despite huge investments. Crosetto explains thoroughly and logically in layman's terms why, despite the latest advances in technology which would allow low-cost early detection at a safe radiation level if funded, thereby saving lives, the healthcare community is still concentrating on finding cures for late-stage cancer, which at most prolongs life for a few weeks or months. The audience listened intently to this most interesting presentation, followed by an excellent Q&A session.